ตีสามพอดีเลยวะเปิดไลฟ์มาเย่ว่ะสตรีมดึกอีกแล้วเหรอตีสามเมื่อกี้เปิดไป1 โลอยากได้เฟมิเนตแต่ไม่ออกเลยออกสายุ เดี๋ยวถ้าการันตี4 ดาวรอบนี้ไม่ออกนี่ดองยาวละรอกดฟูรินะ มันใกล้พิตตี้แล้วเมื่อกี้บวกไป1ก็เป็น61 โลไม่มีการันตีเควสในเรื่องก็ไม่รู้จะยาวอีกไหมนะเพิ่งถึงพาร์ทนี้เลยที่ว่านั่งเรือไปกลางเมืองฟอนเทนนะจะมีใครหลงเข้ามาดูเปล่าเนี่ย ไลฟ์ตีสามเปิดดูหน้าต่างแชทไปด้วยเดี๋ยวก็จะมีไลฟ์แพด 4.1 แล้วนี่แต่เราไม่รู้ว่าเราจะว่างไลฟ์เปล่านะขี้เกียจด้วยเริ่มรู้สึกหมดไฟกับคอนเทนต์เกนชินมากคิดว่าหลังจากที่เราไลฟ์ในเรื่อง 4.0 เสร็จนี่เราคงแบบไม่เน้นไลฟ์ในเรื่องแล้วคงไปเน้นแบบไลฟ์เกมอื่นอะ ช่วงนี้ก็อยากไปไลฟ์วาโลบ่อยๆมากเดี๋ยวเราทำเควสประจำวันก่อนแล้วก็ค่อยทำเควสหลักเดี๋ยวพิมพ์ไว้เผื่อมีคนเข้ามาดูว่าเราจะได้รู้ว่าเราทำอะไร
I'll post a commission at the Adventurers Guild.
โอเคทำเควสดีกว่าเราก็อ่านแชทตลอดอะถ้ามีใครมาพิมพ์ถามอะไรในแชทเราก็ว่างตอบนะเดี๋ยวทำเควสก่อนเดี๋ยว
Let's head off.
What is the situation?
ทุกทีเราจะดีดมากๆเลย นอนไม่ได้จนกว่าจะตี 3เพื่อรอทำเควสประจำวัน แล้วก็รอผ่านลิซิน
Solidify.
There is no escape.
Into the wind. One with wind and cloud.
Order guide you. Stabilize.
Illusion shattered.
One with nature.
Inazuma shines eternal.
สปีดรันแล้วคือเรายังไม่ได้ทำในเรื่องหลักเลยเราก็เลยแบบยังรับเควสประจำวันของฟอนเทนไม่ได้โอเคไม่ใช่เควสแปลภาษา
No escape.
The wind knows it.
I will have order. Gather.
Shine down.
One with nature.
Order guide you.
2 เควสแล้วมั้งอันนี้ปีนต้นไม้ไปเก็บใบไม้ ทั้งไอดีและตัวละครความประทับใจ10หมดทุกตัวยกเว้น ลินเน็ตเพิ่งได้มาล่าสุดนะ แต่ก็ใกล้แล้วล่ะ ใช้เวลาประมาณแพทกว่าๆมั้งถึงจะความประทับใจ10คือเลเวลเราน้อยไงถ้าเอาไปลงขวบมันก็เป็นภาระคือถ้าลงขวบมันความประทับใจมันเร็วขึ้นไว2 เท่า แต่ก็นั่นแหละ คือถ้าเป็นตัวละครเลเวลสัก80ขึ้นไปเราคงเอาไปลงขอบแล้ว จะได้ขึ้นไวๆรีบเก็บนามบัตรนี่ไงเสร็จแล้วเก็บเรียบร้อยเรายังทำเควสฟอนเทนไม่ได้แล้วก็รับเควสมอนสเตทเนาะเพราะว่ามอนมันง่าย แต่ก็เกลียดไอ้พวกเควสคุ้มกันบอลลูนหรือเควสที่มันไปอยู่ในภูเขาหิมะนะเลยเควสหนึ่งเดี๋ยวพรุ่งนี้อบิดตี 3อบิดก็ลีกเดี๋ยวต้องปั่นอบิดด้วย อบิดรอบนี้เราดาวครบแล้วอบิดรอบนี้แม่งโคตรหมู สบายไม่ยากเกินไปมันจะไปยากอะไร AR 60 มานานแล้ว ปั้นตัวเป็น10 ทีมแล้วมั้ง
Solidify.
Illusion shattered.
Into the wind.
This is order.
โอ้เดี๋ยวมีอีเวนต์อีกนี่หว่า
Add Ast. Thank you for complete.
ไพ่หมดเจมเราเท่าไหร่วะ88 อีเวนต์แจกอีก60 70นี่หว่าไปถ่ายรูปเดี๋ยวพิมพ์ไว้เผื่อมีใครเข้ามาเควสโลกเราค่อยไปทำทีหลังอะขี้เกียจทำในไลฟ์มากเลย เอาตีหลักมามันต้องใช้กล้องอีเวนต์โอเค จุดต่อไปเรามาถ่ายรูปเนี่ยนะจริงๆตอนนี้เราไม่ได้เดินสำรวจเลยเนี่ย
A chest full of valuables and a trove of potential clues.
มันให้ถ่ายรูป4 รูปโอเคไปถ่ายรูปตรงนี้หุ่นหมา
Take it easy.
เรียบร้อยสุนัขพันธุ์พิเศษเฉพาะในฟอนเทนอีก23 ชั่วโมงโอ้160 พอดี 62 โลไม่มีการันตีถ้ากดอีกสักโลหนึ่งน่าจะมีโอกาสได้ 1-2 โลอะโอกาสได้4 ดาว ขอเป็นเฟอร์มิเนตที่เด็ด ยังไม่มีเลยอันนี้เราไปลงเลไลน์เดืออาร์ติแฟกต์เริ่มขี้เกียจฟาร์มแล้วเพราะตัวที่มีก็มีใส่กันครบแล้วก็แบบรู้สึกว่าฟาร์มไปไม่มีใครใส่ ถมที่จ้ะแต่ละตัวก็บาลานซ์ใช้ได้แบบใช้ได้จริงก็ไม่รู้จะฟาร์มไปทำไมตอนนี้ผมเลยเน้นไล่อัพตัวละครกับอาวุธไปหลังแล้วไล่อัพทานเลือนด้วยเนี่ยอาจจะดันพวกเวล50ขึ้นมา ส่วนในพวกเลเวล80เนี่ยตัวไหนที่เลื่อนขั้น80/90แล้วเราก็จะไล่อัพให้มัน90ไปเลยส่วนตัวที่ยัง80/80อยู่ก็อาจจะไปค่อยไปตีบอสเอาของมาเลื่อนขั้นมัน แต่ที่แน่ๆคือตัวละครขั้นต่ำเนี่ยต้องเกิน70/80 70/80ตัวหนึ่งได้กาชาตู้ถาวร3 โล
There is no escape.
Everyone hold hands. Make yourselves at home.
Quietly now. Game's up. Home's over.
Illusion shattered. Torn to oblivion.
ปากไม่ขี้แล้วไรเดนขี้เลท74ปากไม่ขี้อย่างบ่อยเลย ไปทำเควสหลักดีกว่าไม่รู้ว่าเควสนี้จะยาวเปล่าวะเราน่าจะถึงช่วงแรกๆของเควสอยู่เลย ไปขึ้นศาลสืบสวนมั้งมันก็สกิปเร็วๆก็ไม่ได้นะ
So, we ride this thing to go into the city? What an ingenious way to get around.
This is an aquabus. It allows people to travel between several key locations around Fontaine. It's pretty convenient, but the...
So you mean it's still boring even when I'm riding with you?
No, that's not what I meant. Besides, it doesn't really feel like a real trip when it's just the two of us.
แล้วก็พยายาม
That's what
อ่าน
it's like
เร็ว
to
ๆ
be
นี่
an
นะ
older brother.
It's about time for us to leave.
อ๋อชาร์ลอตก็มาด้วย
Huh?
What? Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte!
Oh, I never guessed I'd bump into you while riding the aquabus. What are you doing in Fontaine?
Yeah, it's quite the coincidence. But as travelers, we're always on the move. Though we still have no idea how the Hydro Archon knew about us.
Oh, no need for introductions.
อ้าวสวัสดีฮะ
I would recognize the great magician Linny and his assistant Lynette. I wouldn't be much of a reporter if I didn't know who they were. It's a pleasure to
เราก็
meet
แบบ
you. I'm Charlotte.
เนื้อ
a
เรื่องยังไม่
reporter
ไป
for
ถึงไหน
Steam.
Nice to meet you. From the Steambird, huh? We've often relied on your paper to promote our performances.
ก็เลยมันไล่เคลียร์เนื้อเรื่องอยู่นะ
It's an honor to meet you.
Now that everyone knows each other, Fontaine suddenly doesn't feel like such an unfamiliar place.
ก็ไม่รู้ว่าเราจะง่วงหลับไปซะก่อนเปล่านะ
So,
แล้ว
what
ไม่
have
รู้
you
ว่า
been
เควส
up to
มันจะ
lately,
ยาวกว่า
Charlotte?
นะ
Any big news?
Not too much. When there isn't any breaking news, I mainly cover the trials at the Opera House. You can still manage to keep readers' attention as long as you tell things from a clever enough angle, even if it's the same old topics. For example, reporting on how a scammer once deceived vulnerable girls into relationships, or how a financial criminal was once so poor that they ate a single piece of bread for 5 days.
ตัวร้ายมีอดีตว่ะ นักต้มตุ๋นใครใช้หลอกลวงความรู้สึกของสาวๆทั้งหลาย การรายงานชีวิตอันรันทดอาชญากรช่อโกงที่อดีตต้องมากินนมปังก้อนเดียว เป็นเวลา5 วัน อ่านไปวะเนี่ย
You're right. Seems you know me pretty well. What I'm really after is exclusive, sensational news pieces that could shake the country. Oh, I just remembered. I've been following a case lately. Well, a series of cases actually.
You
คดี
mean
ต่อ
the
เนื่องไว้
serial disappearances of young women case?
คดีการหายตัวไปอย่างต่อเนื่องของหญิงสาว
That's right. These stories are the talk of the town right now, and it's probably the most mysterious case we've ever seen.
โอ้เป็นประเด็นที่สุดของฟอนเทนว่ะ
If I'm the first first with a draft ready to publish when the case is finally cracked. Oh, when that happens, I bet all the other reporters will shed tears of envy.
So, what is the serial disappearances of young women case?
That's right. The first missing girl case happened almost 20 years ago.
โอ้แล้วย้อนคดีไปเป็น20 ปีเลยเหรอวะเนี่ย
And ever since, after a period of time, another girl disappears. What the cases have in common is that but the scariest part is that to this day, none of the girls have ever been found.
อ๋อแล้วไม่มีใครหาเจอเลยเหรอ
Many suspects have been arrested over the years in connection with this case, but shortly after each arrest, another disappearance would always happen. Yes, it's possible. But either way, I believe that every case has some precise truth behind it, waiting to be exposed.
ความจริงมีหนึ่งเดียว เราจะเป็นนักสืบโคนัน
Yes, I agree. And at the very least, I just imagined for a second what I would do if Lynette were to suddenly disappear.
Please don't imagine that, Lenny.
นี่เราก็อยากสกิปเร็วๆนะ แต่ก็เร็วมากไม่ได้ อยากอ่านบทสนทนาอยู่ ต้องรีบเคลียร์ให้ทันก่อนหมดแพท 4.0 นะ แล้วเดี๋ยว1 ทุ่มพรุ่งนี้ก็จะมีไลฟ์ 4.1 อีก เหลือก็ไหลไปเรื่อยๆ แล่นไปเรื่อยๆ ถึงเมืองฟอนเทน อันนี้เรื่องมัน สคริปต์เลยอะเราก็ไม่รู้ว่าเควสมันจะยาวนะ ขึ้นชื่อว่าเป็นเควสเทพเจ้าน่าจะยาวกว่าไอ้เควสตำนานของตัวละครแต่ละตัวบ้างกรณีแบบว่าสกิปเร็วๆนะ
Well, I really enjoyed chatting with you. Life should be full of pleasant little surprises like this.
Yeah, us as well.
I have an interview to get to. I should get going before I'm late.
Okay, Hyman hopes we can chat again soon, Charlotte.
Bye now. Oh, be sure to stop by and see me at the Steamberg when you have time.
ถ้ามีโอกาสมาหาฉันที่สำนักข่าวสตรีมเบิร์ดบ้างนะ
What a tough job. Always running around and
If you don't mind, how about we stop by my home first?
Sure, we wouldn't mind at all.
แล้วก็ไปบ้านลินเน็ตลินนี่ชอบเรียกผิดระหว่างลินนี่กับลินเน็ตนะ ลินนี่คือพี่ชายแล้วก็ลินเน็ตน้องสาวเมื่อกี้เราเมืองอันเป็นที่รักของฝนโปรยไปบ้านลินนี่แต่เราผ่านในจุดที่เราเจอเทพน้ำฟูรินะแล้ว
This is our current abode. Ah, Fremine, you're home.
Oh, they all just went out a moment ago.
เฟมินิตนี่เป็นตัวที่อยากได้มากเลย แต่ว่าเปิดไม่ออกสักที ได้แต่สายุ สายุก็ทะลุซีออกไปแล้ว
I see. Everyone is getting busier now that father will be returning soon. Allow me to introduce you to my little brother, Fremine. He is...
Hello.
เป็นผู้ชายนี่เนี่ย แต่ตอนมองแบบแรกนึกว่าผู้หญิง
Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the traveler.
Linny, could you come here for a moment?
What is it, Fremine? Do you have something to tell me? Okay, I see.
Is everything all right?
Oh, it's nothing. Oh, before I forget, the traveler...
Yes, I went diving and gathered lots of material.
That's our Fremine, always quick with the underwater work.
นัก
All
ดำน้ำนี่
right,
นะ
I'll take these to the workshop.
มีบรรยากาศฝนตกงี้วะ
Looks like rain.
Oh, you're right. But wasn't it clear and sunny just a moment ago?
I'm afraid that's just how it is here. It often rains on days where there are trials being held in the Opera House, but don't worry, it'll clear up soon enough.
โหเมืองนี้ ถ้ามีการพิพากษาปุ๊บ ฝนตกแบบนี้บ่อย
What's wrong, Fremine?
There's a legend about the... It said that a dragon of water once resided in Fontaine. Though we don't know where the dragon went. When I was a child, my mother told me that if I wanted to go outside and play... Hydro Dragon! Hydro Dragon! Don't cry!
ๆ เหมือนอย่างเดวลิน
If it's an elemental dragon, then having the power to make it rain wouldn't be very Let Paimon try something. Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
เอางี้เลยวะ
Doesn't seem to be of any use. It is just a legend after all.
You
เป็นแค่ตำ
know,
นาน
you might be a more popular magician if you understood the concept of romanticism.
Sorry.
แป๊บเดียวฝนก็หยุด
It rained for longer than I...
Was there something you needed to do, Linny?
Yeah, some preparations for the show at the Opera House. On the day of the performance, just ride the aquabus to the island of Araneus. I'll have Lynette meet you at the fountain in front of the Opera House.
Oh, are you...
What is it, Fremine? I'm in a hurry. Perhaps we could trouble the traveler to help us take these materials to the Beaumont workshop and deliver... I'm afraid that Fremine can be quite introverted.
No trouble
ออกเป็นอินเทอร์เวิร์ดเรื่อยๆฮาฟู
Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm quite useless when it comes to such tasks.
Oh, no need.
อ๋อไอ้ดอกไม้ที่ใช้อัพเฟอร์มิเนตนี่หว่า ก็มีเควสโลกตรงนี้เลยไม่ได้ทำเลย ช่วงนี้คือเราไม่ค่อยมีเวลาว่างเล่นเท่าไหร่โดยเฉพาะถ้าไลฟ์แบบทำเควสในเรื่องเนี้ยมันต้องใช้พลังงานเยอะ แล้วช่วงนี้เราเบื่อเงาง่ายด้วย เราเลยเลิกงานมาก็เหนื่อยแล้ว ก็เลยไม่ได้เล่นเลย
Oh, hello there. New customers? Looking to buy, or do you need something made?
Oh no, we're just here to deliver some materials. Here they are.
Ah, these must be from Magic Pockets. I could tell right away. No need. They've already prepaid several batches worth, but they insisted on paying the full amount, saying that I had a business to run.
Wow. So,
I can't say for sure, but who knows?
hey, is this machine what you use to make stuff here? It looks really advanced.
Why use your hands when a machine can do the work? It would be a waste not to use the latest technology, and wasting is a kind of crime.
But where does a big machine like that get its power from?
Ah, well, it's a little complicated, but basically, everything we usually use here in the city is powered by indemnitium. It's a type of energy that's produced from trials.
Huh? How can trials produce energy?
การพิพากษาเขาผลิตพลังงาน อะไรวะเนี่ย
Well, I'm not completely sure of all the details myself. When a trial is in session, the oratrice mécanique d'analyse cardinale harvests people's belief in justice and converts it into energy to be used all around Fontaine.
พิพากษาแต่ละอย่างก็กลายเป็นพลังงาน ให้เมืองทั้งฟอนเทนทั้งเมืองฟอนเทนเนี่ยนะ
That's what its other function is? But Paimon still doesn't get it. How could something unreliable like people's beliefs be turned into a stable power source for... Oh, yeah! So that means the Hydro Archon relies on the machine to take...
Even though I've never heard anyone really put it that way before, besides indemnitium, we have another type of energy called pneumosia. It isn't produced by the power of the Archon, but it is unstable by nature.
I thought I'd find you hard at work, but here you are chatting the day away. Since you're...
You again? Didn't I already promise you that I'd have the more I owe to
Yeah, but how do we know that you won't go running off by the end of this month? I want 50% today. Wait.
Huh?
It seems business isn't so great for the workshop. We've already finished our job and delivered the materials. Maybe...
Hey, hold on.
อ้าว
Before you go around trying to collect payments, why don't you settle your own debts first?
อ๋อแล้วบักชายก็มานี่อีก
If Confreri of Cabriere wants to poach clients from Northland Bank, that's fine. But I'm afraid you still owe the bank a hefty sum of mora. So why don't we work things out between us first, before...
You're from Northland Bank.
Traveler, Paimon! I didn't think I'd run into you here in Fontaine. What are the chances?
We're surprised to see you too. What are you doing here in Fontaine? You didn't want to stay in Snezhnaya?
Long story short, but it seems that fate brought our paths together today. Not only will I have some good friends here now, but ones who always seem to find trouble.
ได้เจอพวกเธอต้องเป็นพรหมลิขิตแน่
Either way you look at it, it seems things are going to get a lot more interesting now.
Pretty sure we'd want to avoid anything that you'd find interesting.
Hey, you, Northland Bank boy.
Don't interrupt. It's not often I run into the Traveler like this.
You kidding? Aren't you the one looking for us? You really expect us to sit and twiddle our thumbs while you can't... Listen to me, boy. If you want your mora, fine. Why don't you come and take it?
Hey, I just said not to interrupt. Oh, by the way, Traveler, the last time I took Tonya and Tusser ice fishing...
Hey! That's way over the line! All right, boys, let's see who has to pay up now!
Can you at least let me finish one sentence? Fine. Though the bank told me not to get rough with our clients, you're the ones who started it. This is an act of self-defense. You two will have to be my witnesses, okay?
จะรีบตีตีถึง
I'm sure this won't take long.
Riptide! No time to lose. Ja, ja. Ha, ja, ja.
แค่เนี้ย
What's your deal, Brad? How are you so strong if you're just a...
Oh, now you notice. It's a little late, don't you think? Huh?
Now's my chance!
Huh. That was weird.
อ้าววิชันหาย
I'm not sure. It's as if I suddenly lost control of my hydro powers when I needed them.
Strange. How could that happen?
Never mind. It doesn't matter. If I want to stay sharp, I shouldn't be relying too much on my vision anyway. Besides, I always have my delusion in case I need it.
So what are you doing in Fontaine, child? And don't say it's work for Northland Bank.
Well, I guess it's because I've been in a bad mood lately.
Huh? What kind of reason is that?
I don't know, but recently, there seems to be some sort of restless power stirring.
Maybe you losing
That is a possibility. I can't remember if I ever mentioned it before. It was during that time I learned nearly all of my abilities. She was always quiet and very mysterious. Nobody knew where she came from or what she had been through. And one time, I asked her why she was willing to take me on as an apprentice. Because I had awakened it. And
But what is it?
she never explained that. But my guess is that it's related to a dream I saw when I had... In my dream, I was in the deepest depths of the sea. And the...
A whale? Oh, that sounds familiar! When we fought against you before, you summoned a huge whale that seemed to leap at us. Is that the one?
ไอ้พลังเรียกปลาวาฬนั่นนะ ตอนที่เราไปสู้กับชายในดัน
That's just an abstract form of a whale that I create using my elemental powers. It takes that shape because the scene I dreamt of the whale has always been stuck in my mind.
So you used the whale as inspiration for one of your moves? So why don't you just go ask your master?
You make it sound so easy. Ever since the incident I experienced there. But it's been years now, and I've still found nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm out of leads at this point, but there... Oh, seems the time really flies when I'm talking with you.
What? More work for the...
No, it's more of a personal appointment.
Official champion duelist? You
อืม
mean
ท้าดวล
it's
อีก
their job to...
Yep, in Fontaine, before a criminal goes to court, they're given one chance to defend their honor by requesting a duel with an official champion duelist. The champion duelists are all powerful fighters selected from among the nation's best. So engaging in such a duel is regarded as a symbol of defending your honor. And the worst case scenario is that you're simply killed in the duel. Though it's rumored that Fontaine has a death penalty, from what I can tell, no one has ever been officially sentenced to death.
มีข่าวหรือว่าฟอนเทนมีโทษประหารชีวิต แต่เหมือนว่าจะไม่มีใครถูกตัดสินประหารชีวิตจริง
So really, the only people who opt to duel are those who have suffered a grave injustice in being accused.
So, do many people actually get out of...
Apparently, it's exceedingly rare for anyone to actually win. Besides, none of the champion duelists are to be trifled with. Apparently, the one I'm meeting today, Clorend, is the strongest of the champion duelists.
Well, that's child for ya.
Oh, before I forget, I want you to have this.
Huh? Your vision?
I'm just worried that it could become uncontrollable again. Besides, I just need you to hold on to it for a short while.
Paimon knows what you're up to. You just want an excuse to come talk to us.
Whatever gave you that idea?
That sneaky guy. Well, seems we don't have much to do for now.
แล้วก็เดินเที่ยวฟอนเทนจนเกือบหมดทุกจุดแล้วมั้ง
Wow! Who could have seen that coming? The reporter who was barely around for most of the story was the murderer all along! Sorry. Paimon was just surprised, that's all. The whodunits here in Fontaine are a lot different than the light novels you see from Yaipa. It's so exciting to reach the moment when the mist... Oh, sorry about that. Hey. Lenny said that the opera house is on Aranias, so let's go ride the aquabus.
จริงเควสในเรื่องตัวละครเลยดองไว้เยอะเลยนะไม่ได้ทำสักที เดี๋ยวค่อยหาเวลาว่างทำนอกไลฟ์เลยขี้เกียจทำตอนไลฟ์แบบมันแต่ละเควสมันน่าจะยาวอยู่ แต่แฮงเอาท์เราก็ทำนอกไลฟ์หมดแล้วอยากไปเน้นสตรีมกินไม่สิอยากไปเน้นสตรีมวาโลบ่อยๆแล้วกินชินเนี่ยเบื่อเพราะส่วนใหญ่มันเริ่มเบื่อหน่ายตั้งแต่แบบเข้าเกมมาทำเควสประจำวันผ่านเลซินแล้วก็ออกเกมมันไม่ค่อยมีอะไรแล้วจริงๆชีวิตมันแอบเบื่อในช่วงหลังยา55ขึ้นไปและยิ่งน่าเบื่อมากกว่าเดิมตอนยา60แล้วนะขนาดว่าเราไล่ปั้นตัวละครไล่ปั้นอาร์ติแฟกต์ทุกตัวแล้วก็ยังเบื่อเลย
The opera at Eclairs. Huh. Looks like there's a lot of people standing around the fountain up ahead.
Oh, Archon, please bless us with a bright and healthy child.
I don't know why you always feel the need to ask so much.
I guess if there are, kid, then they're...
เหม็นกลิ่นความรัก
One of the systems in Fontaine.
Vache.
What's wrong?
Vache. Vache.
No, Paimon didn't say anything. Are you?
Welcome to the Fountain of Lucine. All the water flowing through Fontaine converges here. Lenny asked me to wait here for you.
Right.
What do you mean? There are a lot.
Hey, you're not trying to scare Paimon, are you?
I see. In fact, you might not be imagining things at all. I suspect that what you heard is a result of your hypersensitivity to the hydro element.
มีคน
Others in
ค
my
ล้ายๆเรา
family have had some.
It's because of her sensitivity to the hydro element?
When do you cry, Paimon?
Wait, what?
Just answer.
When Paimon's really sad? Oh,
Then you should understand that tears contain your most intense emotions. Like I just mentioned, the Fountain of Lucine is where all the flowing water in Fontaine converges. So maybe what you heard was the intense emotion coming from someone's tears.
so what did the voice say? Huh. If you were hearing...
Rather than worrying about them, we should... Don't let that calm look of his fool you. He tends to get pretty nervous.
Oh, right.
ใกล้ถึงพาร์ทที่ต้องไปแสดงยังวะเรายังแรกไม่ครบเลย หวังว่าเราคงไม่ง่วงซะก่อนนะ แต่พยายามเอาให้จบให้ได้เนี่ย
Traveler and Paimon, good to see you. I knew you two would come.
Are you kidding? We wouldn't miss it for the world.
But you're actually right on time. The audience still hasn't started entering the venue yet.
ไปเอาบัตร VIP มาให้เราเนี่ย
The Opera House has assigned seating, so you always have to make reservations.
Ooh, front row seats.
Don't mention it. There's no need to keep thanking me.
Hey, Lenny! Could you come over here and take a look at this?
Oh, I'll be right there. Seems there's an issue with the stage props over there.
Yeah, we'll just go to our seat.
Take it easy.
โอ้มาถึงจุดนี้แล้ว จองที่ไว้แล้วอ๋อม
Oh, these should be our seats. Come on, let's do...
นิววิลเลจนี่หว่า
Hey, traveler. Maybe we should strike up a conversation with the person next to us. Ah, cute.
Excuse me, I did not realize you felt awkward. I would be perfectly happy to chat with you if that is what you would like.
Oh,
เสียงยังรอเลย
so you heard all of that, did ya? Wait, that's not it. Paimon's... Sorry. Paimon's, Oh, Paimon's got it. You're...
A friend, you say? Well, if Mr. Linney would like to be my friend, I would be more than happy to.
Oh, so you're not friends with... Nice to meet you. Paimon is Paimon, and this is the traveler. We just arrived in Fontaine.
It is an honor to meet you two. I have heard of your deeds across Tevat, and as required by proper etiquette, I will also introduce myself. I am...
Oh, Monsieur Nervillet. What an honor it is to have you here to see my show.
Ah, Mr. Linney. I should say it is in fact an honor for me to see your performance in person.
Wait, Nervillet? Could he be...
นิววิลเลจเว้ย เดี๋ยวเขาจะมาในแพทหน้า
I saw you all chatting just now, but it seems you still don't know who Monsieur Nervillet is. Allow me to introduce you to Fontaine's Chief Justice. That seat is always reserved for him. It wouldn't be too much to say that he's the symbol of justice and honesty here in Fontaine.
โอ้เป็นผู้พิพากษาสูงสุดด้วย
Whoa! Sorry for being...
No offense taken. Being Chief Justice is merely what I do for work. And by the way, I should probably let you know, there's someone sitting up there in the VIP seats that has been striking a pose for quite a while now.
จันนันนั่งเตะท่ารอมาได้สักพัก ฟูลีนะ
I believe she is trying to give you a most elegant and impressive first impression. So I think you should take notice of her sooner rather than later. Otherwise, she may become flustered.
Huh? Oh, it's Farina, the Hydro Archon.
Very good. That is for the best. No need to pay her any more attention. We may now enjoy the show.
ไม่ต้องไปสนใจหรอก
Huh? So is this what things are like between the Chief Justice and the Hydro Archon?
All right, please wait just a moment longer.
Yay! The show's finally about to start!
โอ้มีคนมานั่งดูมายากลละ
Oh, they're dimming the lights. The show must be starting. Sorry.
Welcome, one and all, to the Opera Epicles. I am the star of today's show, Linny. And over here is my sister, Lynette, who will be working as my wonderful assistant. Please, let's give...
Hello, everyone.
I know she may seem to be a little sleepy right now.
Whatever.
Now, some of you may be thinking, two vision holders who can freely manipulate elemental powers performing magic is not true magic at all. So, I would like to take a moment to assure you that elemental powers will have nothing to do with what you will witness on the stage today. Both Lynette and myself have removed our visions for the show. That way, even the gods won't be able to help us.
Oh, good point. That's what makes the show real magic.
Now, without further ado, let the show begin. I know you might miss her, but don't worry. She'll be coming right back on stage momentarily. Perhaps in an unexpected way. Oh, and before I forget, you never know what can happen in the blink of an eye.
เล่นมายากลละ
A magician's greatest skill is making things disappear or appear. The possibilities are endless. Huh? But this isn't what you came for. These little tricks, you've seen them all before. So it's time for something truly extraordinary, don't you think? This one's a little tricky. Using this water tank, I shall make my sister vanish completely, right before your very eyes. It's actually quite simple. She'll just turn into air bubbles and float right out of the top. Oh no! I told them to check all the props carefully. With the lid on, even air can't escape. An amateur magician would be getting very nervous right around now. Luckily, it's me on stage, so let me show you what a true virtuoso can do. Lynette, are you still there? Don't go too far. We don't want to use up all our magic.
Hi, I'm back.
Huh?
Oh. นั่งดูมายากลไว้ นี่เราหลบสปอยมาเพื่อมาเล่นเองเนี่ย
How did he do that? Wasn't Lynette inside the water tank? How did she disappear and then
If we could see easily through his tricks, then that would mean that his skills are still lacking. To appreciate magic, you should focus on the show happening on stage, rather than getting caught up in trying to see that which has been intentionally hidden.
Guess you're right. I'm not gonna...
Thank you, everyone. I'm glad you enjoyed that performance. But our magical journey has only just begun. The magic of transformation and disappearance can go far beyond what you've just seen. I'm sure many of you are thinking that escaping the water tank was impressive enough. In which case, I have ample time to make all necessary preparations. So, for my next trick, I will require the participation of one lucky audience member. Please, if my assistants could bring out the magical boxes now. There are 2 boxes and only 2 boxes. One is here and one is there in the aisle among the audience. I'm sure many of our clever audience members have already guessed our next magic trick. Our lucky audience member and I will each enter a magic box. Now please, everyone pay very close attention to the box you see here.
Wow! How's he gonna... Hey, do you think this is all magic tricks? Or does Lenny have
The lucky audience member will be generated by this random number selector. It selects numbers entirely at random. Even I don't know who will be chosen to participate. Now then, let's begin. Let me see. Oh, row 7, seat 3. Congratulations! You now have the chance to experience magic firsthand for an entire minute. Please, come forward. My assistant will take you beside the magic box. I'm sorry, it might be a little cramped inside, but no need to feel nervous. We've carefully arranged everything for you to be as comfortable as possible. You don't need to do anything, but if the magic is interrupted, who knows where you might end up.
Oh.
All right. Before, like this. 60, 59, 58. I won't be able to see anything in the pitch black box, so I'll be... Oh, and no tricks now. If you quickly count from 60 in just 30 seconds, then I'll be in a tough spot.
Ooh! Paimon kinda wants to count faster after hearing...
No, that won't do. I can see it in your eyes. You still can't be trusted. Let's practice together. Come on, repeat after me.
60! 59! 58!
That's right, perfect. Keep
เริ่
it
มนับเวลา
going.
แล้ว
All right, I'll see you all on the other side once you've finished counting.
54? Why aren't you counting, Nervalette?
I am counting in my head. I think things are exciting enough in here as it is. Merely a consequence of my identity and personality.
Oh, alright. You look so serious that Paimon thought you might be feeling uncomfortable or... 40!
Mr. Linney, are you all right in there?
Yes, I'm fine. It would be a disaster if we get sent to the wrong places. For example, midair right above the audience.
Even though he's saying that, Lenny doesn't seem nervous at all. What was that noise? Did you hear it too? Not sure. Anyway, it doesn't seem like anyone's worried about it.
25! What's wrong, Mr. Linney? I can still hear you moving in there.
I seem to have accidentally knocked over a decoration.
Never mind the decorations. There's no time for that. The show...
No, that's unacceptable. I want my show to be perfect.
19! 18! 17!
It seems things aren't quite going as planned. It feels like you're all starting to count faster, but that's all right. I know it can be tiring to do such a long countdown. 10 seconds and change is still plenty of time.
10!
Almost there now. Whew. Swapping two people is harder work than you might think. Even a master magician like me can't guarantee I'll get it right the first time. Hey, wait! Is this the back one? I can't tell. They both look the same inside. Huh? No, that's not it. I'll try again.
7!
Hey, slow down! Honestly!
5! 4! 3!
Whoops! That doesn't count!
0!
Ta-da!
What happened?
อ้าวชิบละหยาบละ
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now.
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was...
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the performers. Seal the exits. No one is allowed in or out at this time.
Yes, that's right. If this was just an accident, then we must investigate the cause.
No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom of this.
เอาละตรวจสอบกันละ
Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced dead. His name was Cowell, one of the assistants in Linny's magic troupe. Apparently, the fireworks on stage ignited the ropes that were suspending the water tank, which then caused the tank to fall onto the stage. As of now, we are still not sure why we found Cowell in the box, rather than the guest from the audience. And after an initial search of the area, the guards have confirmed that the girl is nowhere to be found. It appears that this incident was not merely some mishap with the performance, and there are many indications that it is connected with the case of the serial disappearances of young women.
อ๋อไอ้คดีนี้
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I know the truth. I can see through the whole thing. I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lenny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me?
Oh, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things disappear
Well, that can't be right. He was in the box on the stage the entire time. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to catch the criminal behind the disappearances.
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina, may I assume that your comments just now constitute an accusation against Mr. Lenny and his associates, and that you...
I just think that he... Well,
But what Lady Farina said just now makes perfect sense.
A kidnapping and murder carried out under the cover of a magic show.
I mean, of course, my dear people. But what excites me even more than the obvious truth before our eyes is
บางที
the
เราเริ่ม
opponent
หงุดหงิด
of
กับบทของฟูริน่ามากเลย
That's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? Then there's no problem at all. But with Lenny's help, our little duel ended in a draw. So no more draws.
Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and loser.
It wasn't a...
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such, a trial is in order. Well, traveler, seems Lady Farina has set you in her sights. Are you willing to act as Mr. Linney's attorney and defend him in this
เป็นทนาย
case?
ให้ลินนี่เว้ย
Very well. The trial will be held a day from now in the Opera House. Linney and his troupe are all potential suspects, and the audience may begin to leave in an orderly fashion once they have been cleared by the guards.
A day isn't that long. Let's see what kind of case this big shot outlander can build in such a short amount of time.
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now.
Of course!
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. I understand. I'm sure everyone sees me as the biggest suspect at this point. But if you ask me, the whole thing is mysteries layered upon mysteries. I don't know whether what happened there on the stage was purely an accident or not. And I don't know why poor Cal was in the box. As for how that girl chosen from the audience could suddenly disappear, even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like myself couldn't pull all that off in just 1 minute.
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible.
ไปเอาแว่นมาจากไหนวะเนี่ย
Paimon bought them when we were reading at the bookshop in the city earlier. Pretty cool, huh? Don't worry, Paimon used her own savings to buy them. It wasn't from our travel funds.
I think they look cute on you, Paimon.
You have good taste, Lynette.
ใช่เทสดีเลย
That's the right attitude. But with the guards watching our every move, it's going to be especially difficult for Lynette and I to prove our own innocence. Good thing you agreed to be our attorneys.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, since we're going to start investigating, Paimon has a question first.
Oh, well,
The secrets behind our magic are past saving, Linny.
I suppose you're right. The truth behind our tricks is going to be important evidence that will be weighted during the trial. 'Tis truly a pity. But if revealing our secrets will help you uncover the truth behind what happened, then we should go somewhere else if we're going to discuss our magic tricks.
Alright, let's go have a look while the investigation teams are still here. Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
I see. You must be the traveler that Lady Farina mentioned.
Huh?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troupe long, he was hardworking and everyone generally liked him. The assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props. As you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell and smashed the box with Cowl inside it. This is the real mystery. However, if you look carefully, the box was positioned directly under the water tank. All these factors lining up so perfectly makes it hard to see this as a mere accident. If anything, the more logical explanation is that the whole incident was intentionally planned.
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both good friends?
Well,
So in just a short time, he was not only able to win your trust, but I know there's no such thing as magic. I've seen a lot of cases, and I can tell you that people are the least reliable kind of evidence. Sorry, I tend to be pretty straightforward. Anyway, you may investigate the scene of the crime yourselves if you're curious.
ตรวจสอบหลักฐานกับเบาะแส โอเค งานหยาบละโอ้แล้วต่อต้องอยู่ในเควสนี่อีก
whoever...
The investigation team has some new findings.
See, I told you. What if the machine picked some big guy's seat?
Sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the machine to pick a random member of the audience during his performance, right? Well, we thought there might be a serious problem with the machine, so we had it taken away for further.
It turns out that the seat number it picked wasn't random at all. The machine picks that same number every time. I'm sure you already know that you have to make a reservation in advance to get a seat. In other words, Linny knew who would be sitting where from the very beginning.
That much checks out.
Bet you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
เครื่องสุ่มออกเลขเดิมทุกครั้งโอเค
So this is the rope that broke and caused the water tank to fall. The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, traveler? Whoa. Look! Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit of it left. Huh. So if a rope meant to hold something was made with that kind of material in it... Wait! Why would you...
เป็นวัสดุติดไฟได้ง่าย
Hello there. What are you...
Oh, this location has also been cordoned off because the seats were all booked in advance. So we were able to deduce the missing woman's identity by checking. Sure, it's not like this is confidential information. Her name is Halsey. She's a painter from Fontaine who's made a bit of a name for herself. Apparently, she wasn't a regular at the Opera House. But the Magic Troupe members all claim not to know her. We have looked into her social connections. Simply put, she wasn't related to the Magic Troupe at all. Which match?
Were the victims of previous cases also chosen at random?
That's how it seems to us, in any case.
Okay then.
No need to be so. It is of utmost importance that we get to the bottom of these disappear.
ผู้เสียหายมีชื่อว่าฮาวซี่เป็นจิตรกรที่พอจะมีชื่อเสียงคนหนึ่งมาดูการแสดงมายากลเพื่อคลายเครียดจากการสร้างสรรค์งาน ไม่มีความขัดแย้งทางผลประโยชน์ที่พัวพันทางคณะมายากลเลย
I see that you're investigating the area. If you find any new and interesting leads...
We don't have too many thoughts yet.
Then
The thud?
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Linny's trick with bated breath.
That makes...
I'm of the opinion that it may have been the sound of Linny's accomplice. And when the pyrotechnics went off, she cut the rope, sending the water tank crashing down.
Wait, wasn't the noise we heard too loud?
Perhaps the balance wasn't right. Oh, that's true.
That does remind...
เสียงผิดปกติ
Lenny's still talking to the guards. It seems he'll have a lot of explaining to do. I think someone will be assigned to monitor us later, but...
เควสไม่รู้จะยาวอีกไหมนะ ต้องมาสืบสวนอีกนะ
Hey, you! Yes, both of you! Over here! I've been keeping an eye on you for a while now.
นาเวียวอะเจอกันครั้งแรก
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to cut down the thorns and
Well, you're right on the mark sure about that one, but who are you?
จะชอบดีไซน์นาเวียมากเลยเดี๋ยวถ้าเราเปิดได้ฟูลีนะแล้วก็ถ้าเต็มเหลืออาจจะแบบอยากเปิดนาเวียอยู่นะ
Have you never heard of the Spina di Rosula? From mediating disputes and providing protection to solving conundrums, you name it, Spina di Rosula does it. And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules call me
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Melus, Demoiselle's various daily needs and affairs.
Huh? Boss.
Well, I am the second generation president.
My apologies, Demoiselle. Should you prefer, boss, I will endeavor to use that instead.
No need. You don't have to call me boss. Just Navia is fine.
Okay. If you...
All merely trifling details. That's right. I've always kept an eye on the serial disappearance cases.
เอามา
My
สืบค
interest
ดีนี้
stems
อยู่
from a matter back from my father's time. Judging from the look of things, I find Linny an unlikely mastermind.
Really? We think so too. But how did you come to that conclusion?
Intuition, naturally. My unparalleled intuition. Farina sure was quick to point the finger at Linny without any decisive evidence whatsoever. But that's not uncommon for her. If you remember, the justice had to interrupt her and ask if she was pressing charges Anyway, a trial begins the moment someone levels charges. And, of course, there was...
Sounds more like you just don't trust the Hydro Archon.
Well, what's your opinion? I must admit that she can be interesting at times. All right, I've answered your question.
Wait a minute. Did that answer count?
Well, I say it does. But don't worry. You won't hear any pointless questions from me. In your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a trial like it's an opera?
การพิพากษาอย่างละครนี้
Well?
And why would that be? See, Silver and Malus? I told you they'd be different.
Most astute of you, Demoiselle. No matter how wonderful the script or how fervent the audience's expectations may be, the trials that go on stage here must, and if that can be done, boss, then...
All right, that's quite enough, Malus. Now, I need to make some preparations. Well,
wait! Since when did we...
Oh, what...
That's more like it.
Far be it from me to brag, but I believe that Demoiselle's intuition will be instrumental in You wish to save a friend from false accusations, and we wish to unravel the disappearances.
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got something on your mind.
ใส่แว่นซะเท่ด้วย
I have nothing to add.
ไม่ขอออกความเห็นนะ
Oh.
ไม่ออกเสียง
Alrighty then.
We'll be making some preparations first.
Whoever the murderer was, people needed to register and reserve a seat for the ship. This rope? Why would it? Gosh, we all heard.
Sorry, but no one can freely enter or exit the Opera House at the moment.
No, we're not. Were you always guarding this entrance?
ดอกนั่นล่ะ
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, everyone coming in or out must undergo a strict inspection. So the missing girl couldn't have left from here. At least I doubt there was much opportunity then.
How can you be?
Well, because I was in charge of security near the entrance at that time. I couldn't see Linny's performance from here, which was quite a shame. But still, I did not abandon my post. And we Melazines are good at that sort of thing, you know.
So, it's safe to say... Alright, thank you for your help. This'll be useful.
สถานการณ์เข้าออก
We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going. Let's go see, shall we? Ooh, things are getting interesting, huh? We're about to see how magic is made.
เควสยาวอยู่เนี่ยมันต้องสืบสวนเยอะ
Then I will be going with you.
Very good. Thanks for...
You may spare the pleasantries.
You've arrived. Who's this?
Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guardian angel. If you've got a problem, I've got the firepower. Sorry, I got a little carried away there. Call me Navia. I'm a partner of theirs, and will be helping investigate this whole situation. And these are my companions. Would you mind if they join as well?
Fine.
Oh, new helpers?
Well, let's just say we're tagging along. It's...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Now, yeah.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of secrets is hidden beneath this magic box, prepared specifically for this switcheroo trick. But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the methods used to perform it more easily.
Huh. Weren't there balloons and other decorations here?
Ah, good eye. That said, you're still far from discovering the answer.
The back? You mean the inside of the door?
Very good indeed. I thought you might not be able to catch that, given the back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get? Exactly.
Oh, so there was a passageway under the magic box!
มีอุโมงค์ก็ตามสไตล์มายากลนะ
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this place. The 2 magic boxes are positioned right above the 2 entrances of the tunnel. See this flatbed trolley? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shuttled over to the other side using the trolley.
This trolley can raise and lower and even rotate, ensuring that the box will face in the right direction.
I see. So that's the purpose of the box inside another box.
Precisely.
So that's how you did it!
Once the box was lowered, the trolley would store some energy through this device here. The audience member would only be able to feel some slight movements in the dark, and by the time she walked out, she...
Right! You were talking that whole time!
Ah, yes. A phonograph operated by Lynette was used to achieve that effect.
เป็นเครื่องเล่นแผ่นเสียง
My assistant and I had already scripted our conversation beforehand.
And what about Lynette?
I was in the mezzanine space in the back of the box.
Oh!
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant.
I mean, we are twins. All it takes is a change of clothes and no one can tell who's who.
เป็นฝาแฝดกันเนี่ยแค่เปลี่ยนเสื้อผ้าก็จำไม่ได้แล้ว
And that's my favorite part of this trick.
So that's how it all worked!
Lynette would briefly walk out of the box and then go back in, jumping into the tunnel and escaping before the box on the trolley could finish ascending. And then I walk out of the other box in the audience area. But as you saw, Cal was in the box, not our audience member. She, on the other hand, mysteriously vanished.
We really don't know.
If not for that interlude, this would have been an astonishing trick. And yet, to think that someone was able to use this magic trick to commit a crime. Could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted to stay here. I'll escort...
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now.
Thanks, everyone.
ทริคมายากล
Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a different...
Whatever it is.
floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why?
Oh, Paimon knows. It's one of those tricks where you pour water into a jug and here's a broken vase.
That.
คดีแม่งซับซ้อนจริง
Oh, these are the clothes that the lady chosen from the audience was wearing, right? Her clothes are here, but she's nowhere to be found.
Right. And do you really need to do that? If you're... Ugh. This is so confusing. Paimon doesn't want to be a detective anymore.
ลิงไม่เข้าใจอะไรเลยอุกะอุกะ แบบนะ เซฟลูก ฉันเป็นลิงไม่เข้าใจอะไรเลย เราก็ลิงกัน ต้องมีอะไรอีกเปล่าวะ เสื้อผ้า อ๋อ นี่
Why would it be? The performance would not have been cool. And that digging a tunnel just for whoever the murder... This is probably...
มันต้องมีอะไรอีกเปล่าวะ ขึ้นไปไม่ได้ ต้องมีอะไรเปล่าวะ นี่เปล่าวะ ไม่ใช่ ไม่ใช่ เลือดจะหมดแล้วหมดแล้วนี่วะยังไม่หมดหรอ ตี 4 กว่าแล้วเนี่ย เราเริ่มไลฟ์ตอนตี 3แล้วก็เราตรวจขาดอะไรไปวะเนี่ย อ๋อ ท่อระบายอากาศนี่ไง
What is this place?
It seems someone could fit through here.
Huh. Could this have been the suspect's escape route?
Alone, perhaps. But if...
But there are no other ways in or out of here. Oh, you're right. Let Paimon write that down.
เราเพิ่งจะหาเจอ
Scenes were we're just about done investigating down here.
โอเค กลับสู่
Let's
พื้น
head
ดิน
back up.
แบบคนร้ายอาจจะหนีไปทางช่องระบายอากาศนี้ก็ได้
Well, we've ascertained the state of the crime scene. Let's find a place to sort out our findings once Malus returns.
Apologies for the wait, demoiselle.
So, what did the guards say? Did the criminal escape through the vent?
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement.
เชื่อมต่อไปยังห้องใต้ดิน
The guards have checked the area carefully. No one left through the basement during the performance or after.
So the tunnels become like a secret chamber then. You know, like the kind you usually see in novels.
The plot thickens. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation.
In other words, the charges are very likely to be upheld unless we make some considerable progress.
Charges and then trial.
That's right. This is how a trial goes in the Opera House. That's right. This is how indemnitium is produced. The statements from both sides, the defenses from attorneys, witness testimonies, and even the audience's emotions will all, to put it simply, it's as if the oratrice has its own will. And
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. And not that this has ever happened.
once both sides have finished speaking, the Chief Justice will make his final decision. Then, finally, the oratrice will be consulted by officials.
Huh? So that machine is the one that actually decides?
In practice, there is very little difference. Yes, the guards also asked me to convey that none of us will be allowed to leave this place.
Huh?
Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxies. That makes us persons related to the case.
They're concerned that we might be colluding with outside parties. And even if that were not so, it
I'm ready to break out at any time.
พังประตูไปเดินนะครับผมพร้อมแล้ว
Whoa, there's no need for that. Paimon thinks they have a point.
Of course. I just hope you don't mind the...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts, too. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets?
Huh. Breaking out, settle. Just kidding. Just kidding.
What do you mean, no snacks?
Huh?
Understood, demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying a portable stove with you?
พวกเราทำอาหารติดตัว
Yes, I must be prepared to meet the demoiselle's baking needs whenever the fancy strikes her.
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll...
These three are quite the interesting group. And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the oven. Oh, it's even better now. Paimon can't stop drooling.
โอ้ทำขนมมาการองซะด้วยเว้ย
From the way you had these two guys carrying all that stuff around, Paimon thought you'd have them do more during the baking process.
ทำไมเราต้องมาเห็นไอ้มาการองตอนตี 4เดี๋ยวเนี่ย หิวเลย เซฟรูปแบบ
But you ended up doing the entire thing by yourself, beating.
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was.
Well, I don't think it's carved in stone anywhere that fancy ladies can only read books, sip tea, ride horses, and play the piano. Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's
Only 3?
Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar to your head.
Tea is ready to be served as well. This, no need for concern.
มาการองอร่อยแน่ แต่
Alright
แล้ว
then.
มาการองตามร้านกาแฟ
Down
ใน
to
รับ
business.
ใน
As
ที่เคย
Paimon
ไปกิน
mentioned
ที่สุดเย็นราคา
previously,
ก็แรงเอา
the
เรื่องเงิน
tunnel seems to be something of a secret
เห็นว่ามัน
chamber.
ทำยากมั้ง
However, we can assume that Linny and Lynette were not alone within it. The magician twins could have committed the crimes, of course,
Exactly! Why would they do such a thing right when everyone was watching?
The flower vase and the thud we heard during the performance could indicate some altercation between Halsey and the criminal in the tunnel, resulting in the shattering of the vase. Perhaps the criminal thought that since she was chosen from the crowd, she would be too easy to identify if she was.
Paimon thinks that makes sense.
True. None of the clues we found thus far support but the only people left to consider are both technically victims.
Huh. Could Halsey have secretly made modifications to the magic props and...
That's right. And even if she had tampered with the setup, she would need to understand the entire trick to pull it off. Nor does she have any motive. The guard said that she has never had any dealings with the magic troop's members.
Were we not thorough enough in our... From the sound of things, this is turning into an impossible case. Your macarons are amazing though, Navia. They smell great! They're nice and crisp and super...
They are my specialty after all.
What? 5? Oh, that can't be right. Paimon only counted 3.
Please don't worry about it. At my age, a few less sweets might actually be a good thing.
No. Being greedy is one thing, but Paimon knows how to count.
หิวมากันลองเลยวะตีสี่กว่าเลย
Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then others wouldn't have enough. Wait, even you don't believe Paimon? If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then may they turn into stone in her stomach.
All right, we get it. Malus, set up the stove again if you...
Huh?
Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course.
Exactly.
As you wish, demoiselle.
And I have the egg, sugar, and almonds.
Well, this really is your hobby, huh?
มันนั่งกิน
That's
ขน
it
ม
for
นี่
snack time. I'm going to have another look around the area. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but we've still got some time. As attorneys, I suggest the 2 of you think the case over again. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the trial.
All right, thanks for your help.
It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find anything new.
ความเป็นไปได้ของบุคคลที่
All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready for the trial.
โอ้แป๊บเดียวก็ขึ้นศาลละ
What do we do? The whole situation is so confusing. Good plan.
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, besides, I doubt Farina understands any more about what happened.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
ไพ่มอนเรายังใส่แว่นและหนวด
Finally, you're back. Well, how did your investigation go?
To be honest,
No, we're...
Well now, don't you all look That was to be expected, of course. The guilty can never produce proof of their innocence. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you,
Since both parties are present, I declare that the trial regarding the magic show incident is now in session. Firstly, in order for the audience to understand the causes and results of the incident, could we please have Mr. Linney explain the trick?
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. In that case, I take your statement to be that you ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the trick began.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
In that case, I call upon the prosecution.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly lying. There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell. In fact,
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption that I'm guilty.
oh, is that so? And if I may ask,
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time and built anticipation for the finale.
and you didn't hear anything else at all?
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was...
Huh?
Hey,
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the box.
I was right by the box and I definitely heard the thud.
look at those scales. Look at them.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundations are rock solid. Tell me, aren't you and Lynette actually from the House of the Hearth?
The House of the Hearth?
เป็นคนของฟาทุย
No wonder they did something like this.
So the serial disappearances were the Fatui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do with what happened.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us everything that happened during that 1 minute. Your first priority is to prove yourself innocent after all. I'm sure there is little that needs to be kept secret now. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting in
ชอบ
Discord,
การ
I
ใส่อีโม
suppose.
สองด้านมา
This was all. Good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I pulled last night is really paying off.
Hey, Linny. Why didn't you tell us this before?
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. First, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Second, you and Ms. Lynette are both members of the House of the Hearth. Are these claims true? Please answer my question, Mr. Linney.
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true, Your Honor.
I knew it.
Well, that's it. We might as well move on to the sentence.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own attorneys. What is there left to discuss?
Order! Order, I say! Your request is reasonable, and we shall adjourn. This trial will reconvene in 1 hour.
So you would stick to Mr. Linney's defense even after knowing what you do now? You certainly have more professionalism than I thought. In that case, my dear audience, let's allow the joy of victory to steep for a little while longer.
ชอบฟูเรียน่าตอนหัวเร้อที่ว่าโชว์ไลน์
Well, this is awkward. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Paimon doesn't know where to start. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you weren't bad, not to set the wrong tone or anything.
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before, but our organization is very, very large, and the heart...
Right now, we want to save people.
That's right. I'm sure we're on the same page when it comes to this nation and I knew if it weren't for our respective identities, we could become good friends. That's why I didn't wish to flat out lie to you, but chose to hide some details instead. The truth is very important, but Being completely transparent about everything would see us right. So, you be the judge. You met a Fatus who works as a magician, a trickster by trade. All by coincidence, too. But still, I'm asking you to trust me.
Sorry. Please forgive us.
Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear your answer first, and no...
Of course. I'll answer any question you ask. We've been trying to find out how the Oratrice operates. We want to know why it has a consciousness. Why can it deliver sentences accurately? During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick.
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75 seconds to count down from 60, while I would only need 15 to get to the opposite box. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent, and went to investigate the room in which the core is stored.
That air vent was created during the construction of the tunnel specifically to execute this step.
ช่องระบายอากาศ
Well, nothing. As soon as I reached that room and was about to investigate, I heard someone's voice. Which should have been impossible, of course. I was quite certain that I was the only one in the room. That voice seemed to recognize me and tried to speak to me. On the way back, I saw the broken vase and the clothes on the ground. After that, the homicide occurred just as you saw.
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that prophecy I told you about, of course.
That's the only way we can save everything.
So, there you have it. It was never my wish to proceed under this cloud of mistrust either. But like I said earlier, you can be the judge. If you want to leave because you don't trust the Fatui, there's...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are tipped pretty badly against you two. If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusations, we're... Huh? Oh!
หลังจากที่ลินนี่เข้าไปในอุโมงค์เขาก็เข้าไปยังห้องที่เป็นที่เก็บแกนกลางของประกาศสิทธิ์ผ่านช่องระบายอากาศเพราะงั้นจึงไม่เห็นการก่อเหตุในอุโมงค์ใต้ดินได้ยินเสียงบุคคลลึกลับในห้องที่เก็บแกนกลางประกาศสิทธิ์เที่ยงธรรมอ๋องี้เหรออ่านไปแล้วกัน เควสยาวเรื่องนี้เนี่ยนี่ก็เกือบ2 ชั่วโมงแล้วนะเควสขนาดว่าแบบไม่ได้ฟังตัวละครมันพูดจบตลอดนะ
Let us continue the trial.
บางจุดเราก็พยายามสกิปไวๆอ่ะแต่ก็แบบก็อ่านไปด้วยขี้เกียจไปดูสปอยเรื่องทีหลังนะ
When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may continue stating her reconstruction of the events.
That took long enough. Now then, if everyone would lend me their attention, at this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective.
เราก็เล่นมั่วๆไปแล้วเนาะ
As the countdown began, he entered the tunnel. When the flatbed trolley passed, he opened the box and got into an altercation with Halsey, which caused the loud thud. He did not realize that the sound could be heard by everyone in the opera house, which is why he claimed earlier that he could not hear the sound. Finally, he used the vase to knock her out, before making her change clothes to prevent others from recognizing her. At this time, Cowell arrived in the tunnel, having heard that strange noise, and caught Linney red-handed. So Linney proceeded to knock him out too before stuffing him into that box. Afterward, Linney passed the unconscious Halsey to his accomplice through the magic box in the audience stands, before operating the devices such that Cowell's death would be ruled an accident. And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any objections to Lady Farina's description of the events?
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. What Linny experienced and what he saw. Seems this won't produce a particularly effective rebuttal. According to Linny, he left via the vent after entering the tunnel. He couldn't have had that altercation with Halsey. Linny went to the room that contains the Oratrice's core. This is the actual truth.
เราต้องมาเล่นเป็นนักสืบเนี่ยนะ
Linny did not take part in the underground altercation. He only witnessed traces of the aftermath.
Attention! Ace Detective Paimon has something to say! When the countdown started, Linny did indeed go into the tunnel. But he immediately used a vent to access the Opera House basement, which is where the underground core of the Oratrice is stored. Once he reached that area, he heard a voice in what should have been the crime scene had already developed by the time he reached the tunnel again. And in order to complete the magic trick, he did not remain there for any length of time. Finally, he reached the surface, and that was when the accident happened from his point of view. Therefore, he's innocent.
โต้แย้งสำเร็จ
Paimon did it! Paimon actually managed to say all that!
In other words, you believe that he knew nothing of the incident?
That's right!
My reasoning?
อุปกรณ์บนเวทีทุกคนดัดแปลงไว้ล่วงหน้า
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire setup meant to kill? Assuming that what you say is true, Linny only needed to kidnap the young girl to cause a new disappearance case.
Oh, they have a point.
That's right, you tell him! Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box the whole time, you're saying that he wasn't?
ไม่ว่าจะเป็นคอเวลหรือฮาร์ซี่ต่างขัดแรงจูงใจในการก่อเหตุ ปวดหัวดีวะ
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? he didn't hear anything strange during the performance. This means that when the crime happened, Linny had already entered the basement via the vent. The same clue you used to disprove his alibi has now become the best proof!
Well played. To think you'd use such logic.
ตักกลับแบบนี้จะได้ด้วยนะมีมุมมองโลกๆแบบนี้วะ
Well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
ถ้าผมลีน่าเป็นคนทำนี่
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Or could there have been a third person involved? The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment.
That can't be right. The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that so? How interesting!
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator to victim. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between them.
ข้อสันนิษฐานไม่ถูก
The sound we heard may have come from a clash between. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances.
อะไรวะ เราต้องมั่วไปเรื่อย
It would have been tough for both people to. The sound we heard may have come from a clash. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that. Halsey's clothing was in the Linny was not in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
ๆ ไม่ใช่
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
I see how it is.
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see that the crowd is growing impatient?
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
ฉ ช้าก่อน
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment, which gave our criminal ample time. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. The vase was not broken by chance. It would.
มัวแล้วได้เว้ย
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method...
Just a moment, please. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about here, not some magic trick. Must we really? Ice magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and misdirection.
Even so, I trust the traveler's judgment. The truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may open if we try to gather all the focal points that don't make sense. Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have a look at his belongings, would it?
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, I believe that additional evidence may help us make more progress. Guards, please step into the lounge and examine the personal effects of the deceased Cowell.
กลับมาพร้อมเบาะแส
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea?
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice.
Oh.
The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids, in which the keyword dissolve appears many times. One of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese, along with yesterday's date. It is empty. The notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. It's likely that Halsey was chosen as some sort of test subject. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is, in fact, supported by sufficient evidence.
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy, but it's...
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partners?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Order!
It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased's personal effects has yielded some surprising results, but we cannot yet verify the veracity of these clues. Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic, albeit with the understanding that Ms. Halsey has yet to be found. Guards, please continue examining the items along these lines. Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the evidence, so please continue speaking.
Of course. Thank you, Your Honor. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this case's seemingly unrelated clues can be connected together.
Right! Like the metal heart! That one didn't make sense at all. Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the primordial sea.
The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was... The rope that strung the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and cut. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box.
ไม่ถูก
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linny's assistant. Lynette was in the magic box on stage. The water from the primordial sea should already...
It's in the original plan. Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope, and the number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank on stage. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank he meant to use to cover his tracks.
Huh. That does make sense.
That actually links together a lot of the more confusing pieces of evidence.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
ชอบการแสดงอารมณ์ของฟูลิน่า ว่าในใจเป็นอีกแบบหนึ่ง
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances that led to Cal's death. His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to the situation.
On that note, the guards have just contacted me indicating that they uncovered new evidence. I shall now invite him on stage to share it with us.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be. Does this not clear all my dear citizens, my loyal audience? Allow me to present my reasoning and bring this performance to a swift Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all. Having made modifications to the props beforehand, his accomplice Cowell then caused Halsey to vanish using the water from the primordial sea. But upon his return, in cruel avarice, Linny desired sole credit and prepared to do away with his partner in crime. Ultimately, he knocked Cowell out, and the tool meant to cover the crime up also became a murder weapon. Now, as much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward conclusion, am I right, Mr. Linny?
เสียงฟูลิน่านี่โคตรชั่วร้ายจริง
We've used up all the evidence we collected. There's no... Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. I can't think of anything either. Seems using the water as new...
I think we've all seen enough now. And I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, would anyone here like to take a little break from all this debate and see a little magic? I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh, right before your very eyes. Please, do the honors, Mr. Linny.
What in the world
is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like that are beyond my scope as a magician.
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection, isn't it? It often conceals the truth while presenting a fascinating illusion. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most marvelous finale to today's performance? Come on, Linny and Lynette, give it another go. Don't but, as the magic makers and stars of the show, I think...
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me, and then before I knew it, she caught me.
สรุปว่าหลอด
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before.
อ๋อขโมยที่เราเจอในตอนแรกๆนี่หว่านึกออกละ ที่เราไล่จับแล้วนางหนีไปได้
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought so. I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
เป็นหัวขโมยน่าจะทำได้
But I swear I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, I swear it. Had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box. I may be a thief, but I'm no killer.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the entire story from Lillian's perspective.
คดีแม่งพลิกไปพลิกมา
The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened.
นางพังประตูลีเลียนพังประตูลีเลียนก็เข้าใจผิดว่าตัวเองกำลังจะถูกจับจึงใช้พละกำลังอันน่าสะพรึงพังประตู
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowl.
เป็นการปะทะของลีเลียนกับก็
Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed clothes and hid, biding her time.
Just what one might expect of an experienced thief.
เปลี่ยนเสื้อผ้า
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of the blue, Lillian panicked. Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. So she kicked the door open. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had... He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket.
ขโมยบัตรเข้าชมการแสดง
Mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect, he tried to force Lillian back into the box.
เลยอยากบังคับให้ลิเลียนเข้าไปในกล่อง เพราะว่าลิเลียนไม่ใช่คนฟอนเทนแต่เป็นคนมอนสเตอร์โดนน้ำทะเลบรรพการแล้วไม่ละลาย
The two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking Cowell out and putting him in the box. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the performance ended. ฟูลีน่าเราก็จะพยายามจับแพ้ตลอด Guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the opera house these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped 2 of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
ตอนที่พวกเรากินมากระลองพางคุยกันในวันนั้นมากระลอง2 ชิ้นหายไปก็ดูลิเลียนปูหิวไว้ขโมยกินนี่แหละ
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, couldn't you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow. Look at that. She's like a deflated balloon now.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine and thus fled the box with a loud noise.
ลิเลียนไม่ใช่ชาวฟอนเทน
Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed.
คอเวลตระหนักถึงปัญหาจึงกระโดดลงไปในอุโมงค์และพบกับลิเลียน เขาคิดแค่ว่านานเพลย์ฟันประการออกผลช้าเท่านั้น
However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim.
กลายเป็นฝ่ายของเวลโดนฟาดสลบ โดนจับใส่กล่องมายากล
Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that Linny, the accused, is in fact innocent.
ลินนี่เป็นผู้บริสุทธิ์
While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be handed over to the oratories to make the final decision. As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
ไม่มีความผิด
Great work, partners.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve an explanation, Guard Vaughn. How did you find the water from the primordial sea in Linny's baggage?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know. Or was that not a discovery, but
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes?
ผู้สมรู้ร่วมคิดที่กล่าวถึงในบันทึกของคอเวลคงไม่ใช่ลินนี่แต่เป็นคุณสินะ
I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon Town.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience unforgettable exhilaration. We've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent more off it. The disappearances were also the boss's idea. I mean, this is the...
กลายเป็นน้ำไปแล้ว
And now he can no longer talk.
เป็นการฆ่าปิดปากซะงั้น
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
เอาละ ละลายไปแล้ว เสียดายนิดยังดีที่ผู้หญิงคนนั้นเป็นชาวมอนสเตอร์ก็เลยไม่ละลาย แต่คนนี้เป็นชาวฟอนเทนก็เลยละลาย
We're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
ใครวะสวัสดีฮะ อ๋อ เราก็ มีคนหลงเข้ามาดูแล้วเนี่ย เราเริ่มไลฟ์นี้ตั้งแต่ตี 3เนี่ยตอนที่ตี 5ยังไม่จบเลย
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time.
นี่ไลฟ์มาสัก2 ชั่วโมงกว่าแล้วก็ ยังไม่จบไม่รู้ใกล้จบยังนะ
As for why I'm a Fatous, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
เนฟเป็นพ่อท่านพ่อ
That's right. And since we're here, I was wondering, would you mind hearing a story? It's about my past. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets.
ลินนี่กับลินเน็ตก็ใช้ชีวิตเล่ร่อน
To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. And to my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular. Before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
จากเด็กกำพร้าก็เลยกลายเป็นลูกบุญธรรม
That was how we felt at first too. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
It took a while for me to realize just how dark his heart really was.
เรื่องแม่งโคตรดาร์กเลยว่ะ
After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered that Lynette was not on the same return vehicle as me. I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. The answer he gave me was, she caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift. I mean, you'll be able to perform your magic regardless of who your assistant is, yes?
Oh no. So, but what?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and all I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood.
So, she'd already taken care of that guy.
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement. The knave, might have seen something in me, and the House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. I was hesitant to trust her. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in at first.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
เป้าหมายของคนนี้ก็คือโนซิต
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
So, she believes in that prophecy too?
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently working to combat that crisis. Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water, thus further supporting the prophecy.
คดีที่เกิดขึ้นในวันนี้ก็ได้พิสูจน์แล้วว่าชาวฟอนเทนสามารถละลายหายไปด้วยน้ำบางประเภทจริงๆ
All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. To us orphans, the only connection we have left to this world, apart.
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge schemes like stealing a gnosis, everything is aimed at dealing with that prophecy.
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can understand that even as a member of the house, I have never stopped making my own decisions. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me.
แอบเศร้าในเรื่องของลินนี่กับลินเน็ตจริงๆยังไม่จบอีกนะนึกว่าจบแล้วมีคดีหนึ่งแล้ววะเนี่ยนี่ขนาดว่าเราเริ่มช่องที่นั่งเรือนะถ้าเริ่มตั้งแต่ไอตอนเริ่มเควสใหม่ๆนี่น่าจะ 3 ชั่วโมงกว่าๆได้มั้งเนี่ยแย่เลย เควสแม่งยาวจริง
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting closer to solving the serial disappearances case, though. Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now.
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie, sorry.
Don't say that, Navia.
Ah, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters flowing into a stagnant mire, causing... sorry about that. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal? You know, to commemorate our time as partners?
รู้สึกว่าถ้านาเวียเข้าตู้นี่อยากสูมเหรียญนะเนี่ย
Huh? Do we really need
เห็น
to
ว่า
get
จะเป็น
that
ท่าทินโต
formal?
ใหม่มั้ง
Well, guess you really did treat us as partners, huh?
Well, I'd just like to have a proper ending to every important memory. That way there are no regrets later.
เหมือนลิกบอกว่าจะเป็นดาบใหญ่ท่าทินด้วย
Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up too much of your time.
You don't have to twist Paimon's arm. If Boss Navia's treating, count Paimon in.
Oh, wonderful. In that...
All right, then.
จบแล้วเหรอแล้วยังไม่จบ ยังไม่จบแฮะเควสโลกนี่ก็ยังไม่ได้ทำเลย บทที่ 4 ฉากที่ 2ได้กาชามาโลหนึ่งกดเล่นโลหนึ่งแล้ว เดี๋ยวถ้า4 ดาวรอบนี้ไม่ใช่เฟอร์มิเนตเราก็หยุดละ อย่างน้อย 1-2 โลน่าจะได้4 ดาวแล้ว เดี๋ยวเราพอแค่นี้ก่อนเถอะเริ่มง่วงแล้ว เดี๋ยวค่อยมาต่อไลฟ์หน้า นึกว่าจะจบแล้วสิ มีอีกเนี่ยนอนละฝันดี
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging,